Small man bros, what's up, mate? How are you doing? Yo, Hussein, what's up, man? OGs are in the chat. OGs are in the chat. What's up, everybody? Hussein is back. Hell yeah. Jacob as well. Good to see you, Jacob. How you doing, man? Great to see you guys on the chat again. Always a pleasure. Bro says, wait. Thank you to whoever dropped a like on this stream. Appreciate that. What's up? What's up? Now, fingers crossed tonight, guys. I'm not going to be lagging. How's everyone doing today? Thank you, whoever dropped another like on this stream. You're a real one. What's up, Jacob? Hussein says he's good. Pleased to hear it, Hussein. Yeah, Jacob says, yes, small man. 3 OGs in the chat. 3 likes on the stream. Thank you to the legends that are dropping likes on this. I appreciate you. And someone's firing off emojis, firing off hearts in the chat as well, which I love to see. We're only 2 minutes in and the vibes are strong already. Love it. It's Hussein. Man like Hussein. Legend. Legend. Smallman says, I sub to you. That's awesome, Smallman. What's up to everybody who's joining the chat? Thanks for joining. We've got me, Hussein, Jacob, Smallman Bros. Everyone's vibing, hanging out. Having some love. Akash Meena says, hi. Hi, Akash. How are you? What's up, everybody joining the stream? Hussein stuff, it's awesome. Akash is asking, where are you from? I'm from the north of England, Ash. What's up, everybody? Back for another stream. Got the OGs in the chat. Hell yeah. Akash says, I'm from India. That's nice. Where are you from, Akash? Jacob Stevens, could I have most? Could I have nod? I think I know what you're trying to say. Against. All right, okay. What's up to everybody? Stream 26 viewers. How you doing, guys? Akash says, see you come in India. I want to visit India. I just came back from Tokyo, and on the way back, I wanted to go to New Delhi as it was coming across like that way, but it was just going to be me for like 3 days, and yeah, it was going to be too much. Jacob's asking to be a moderator. Well, I think we can make that happen, Jacob. And guys, if you're watching the stream at the moment, there's 17 people. Hit like so more people see the stream. The Joker says, WTF. Hussein was straight on that, moderated immediately. Akash says, what do you do? Well, apart from being a superstar streamer, I work in finance as well. Hussein says he's warring. Okay. Akash says, sorry, but my English is weak. That's okay. Akash, no worries. I'll try not to speak too quickly because I find it difficult when people speak in a second language. The Joker says, what's your job? So I work in finance. How to describe what I do? I kind of work with clients and help them look at their financial situation and see if there's anything we can do to support them. Jacob Stevens says, what is your favourite colour? That's a good question. We've had this on the stream before, and I think my answer last time would probably be the same. I love purple as a colour. I also like blue as a colour. I'm wearing blue at the moment. But it's hard for me to pick one top favourite colour. Georgia Entwistle says, hey, I'm back. What's up, Georgia? Nice to have you in the chat again. And Akash says, can you speak in Hindi? No, I can't. I think the only thing... no, I can say the word one in Hindi and that's about it. So teach me some Hindi in the chat. Please do. Jacob says, do you have any food tonight? So I just went round to my parents for tea, but maybe I'll eat some brownies. What do you reckon? Ash says, how much time in your country? Do you mean what time is it in my country? If that's what you're asking, it's 8:10 in the evening. Matty Football 1 says, hi. What's up, Matty? How you doing? Georgia says, sup. We've also got Temenala? No, that's not how you say it. Temenaula? I think that's how you say it. Whoa. Phone's going crazy. The Leeway says, my favourite colour is blue. Nice. It's a good colour, you know. It's a good colour. Stoyanova Eva says, hi. What's up, Stoya? Or is it Stoyanova? It's always hard to tell people the usernames. Matty says, hi. Oh God, I'm going to need to get a proper stand for this. I wish you guys could see what I'm propping my phone up using a pack of protein bars to hold my phone in place. The Leeway says, yummy brownie. I do have brownies that I could show you on the stream, so if I get peckish, I might have to bring them. Matty says, I'm good. Nice to hear, Matty. Now listen, guys, if you're watching, there's 12 people watching. Don't be a stranger. Hit the like button. We're all vibing in here. Akash says, my time is 1:42 p.m. at night. So I guess that means 1:42 a.m. So very late at night. Matty Football says, bye. See you later, Matty. Toto says, my French, my French. Okay. Dan Edits Pro says, yo, you're in UK. Same. Nice, Dan. Which part of the UK are you in? Oh, I'm lagging. Sorry if I'm lagging, guys. Nice. Dan is in the West Midlands. Cool. So is Hussein. Hussein is one of our moderators today, and he's also in the West Midlands. So shout out to the West Midlands crew today. That's what's up. Hussein says, like and subscribe, everyone. You know what? Listen to Hussein. He knows what's up. Leaway says, my time is 14. Same as us. Are you in the UK as well, the Leaway? Akash says, university in your country. That's probably going to be Oxford or Cambridge. Jacob says, I love your vids, Leah. Love that. Love that energy. 8:15 for Georgia. Same as us, Georgia. 8:15. So nice to see people on the stream who we had here yesterday. We've got Georgia, Jacob. We've got man like Hussein. Small Man Bros is somewhere. So we've got a few people on from the chat from yesterday, which I love to see. And if you're joining for the first time, let me know where you're watching from. I always like to see where people are dialing in from. My name's Edward. I'm in the north of England. We've got Jacob in the Midlands. We've got Hussein in the Midlands. We've got Dan Edits Pro from the Midlands. We've got Georgia. I don't know where Georgia's from, actually, but we've got Georgia from somewhere in the UK as well. So big up to everybody who's joining. Akash says, what fees? My income is $3,000 for 1 year. The fees are a lot. The university fees are about $12,000. It's about £9,000. So a lot of money. Dan says, I couldn't get on since last Monday. Well, at least you made it now. Hussein says, by the way, I subscribed to my uncles. Legend. Hussein has been a top guy in the chat, so big up to Hussein. The Leeway says, I'm in UK. Cool. England, Scotland, Northern Ireland or Wales? England. Nice. Akash asked, which university did you study at? So I studied at Manchester Metropolitan. The Leeways in England, very, very good. Georgia Entwistle is northern. Love that. Blaj Hajar says, it's 3 a.m. right now from here, lol. Whereabouts are you dialing in from, Blaj Hajar? Small Man Bros is back. Hell yeah. Hussein is showing love in the chat, saying W Edward and W Stream W. Hell yeah. W vibes. W watchers. Leah says, for me, it's really late. Jakarta. Blaj Hajar's from Jakarta in Indonesia. That's super cool. Thanks for sharing that with us. I love it when people dial in from different places, different countries. That's awesome. Leah says W vids. Georgia says W Edward. W Georgia. That's what I'm saying. Hell yeah. Akash says, you are my first friend out of India. If I come to your country, you invited me. Well, I can't guarantee that I can sponsor your visa, but if you come here, I can definitely be your host. Blaj Hajar says, keep it up, bro. Thank you, Blaj Hajar. And I hope I'm pronouncing your username correctly, but thank you very much for the encouragement and thank you for watching the stream. Genuinely really cool to know that someone is in Indonesia right now and they're watching me all the way around the other side of the world. So thanks a lot. Small Man Bro says, made me feel happy the vids. Oh, Small Man. Love that. Hussein says, best streamer ever. Well, Hussein, you're in the for best moderator ever because the vibes you bring are immaculate. So love to you, man. Blaj Hajar says, somehow you're pronouncing it right. I'm very grateful. I'm very glad to hear that because it's difficult when you see a username that you've not seen before. And sometimes if it's not in straightforward English, it can be difficult to read. So I'm really pleased to hear I got it right. So Georgia says, when can you do Roblox streams? So Roblox streams are going to come soon. I'm going to buy a new laptop and I'm going to stream and share my screen so you guys can play along with me or watch along with me and give me tips. Hell yeah. Small Man Bro says, Italy, I mean. Is that where you are, Small Man? You're in this country. Dan's bringing huge vibes in the chat. Dan says, W Georgia, W Blaj, W Akash, W the Leah, W Small Man, W Hussein, W everyone, W Edward, W Dan Edits Pro. What an immaculate vibe this is in this comment section right now. Leah says, Dan, just call me Leah. Nice, we will. And guys, if you're watching, show some love in the chat and let me know where you're watching from. We've got Blaj, who's watching from Indonesia. We've got loads of people in England from different parts of the country. And yeah, we've got some great vibes going right now. And if you are watching, hit the like button so more people see it. But definitely let me know where you're watching from because I know. We've had people in the chat before from Belgium, Indonesia, where else have we had? Jamaica, all over the place. So it's super cool to have people watching from all around the world. Akash says, what is your 12th subject? I don't know what that means. I'm not sure. Does anybody else know what that means? Oh, it's Small Man Bro's birthday today. Happy birthday, Small Man. Very cool. Big up to Small Man Bro's birthday boy. And big up to everybody who's watching. Asan Sigma says hello. Hello to you, Asan. And what's up to everybody who's watching the stream right now? We've got Hussein on moderation. We've got Dan on vibes. We've got Small Man Bro on vibes. Leah on vibes. Everyone bringing the vibes in the chat right now. And if you're watching, tell me where you're watching from. Hussein says, nobody is as smart and nice and kind as you. Well, Hussein, I'm not sure whether that's to me or to somebody else, but that is a very kind thing to say. And like I said to you yesterday, those good vibes will come back to you. Cool. So we've got Asan, who's watching from India. That's awesome. Dan says, views are rising. Hell yeah. So we've got Blaj Haja, who's in Indonesia, and it's late night for them over there. They're asking, what time is it over there? So it is currently 8:22 in the evening. So we've got two people watching from India. We've got Asan and we've got Akash as well. Nice. We've got Max watching from Dublin. What's up, Max? Thanks for telling us where you're at. Akash says, in India, when I pass 10th, we choose a stream, maths, biography, courses, arts in 11th, etc. Zelda Lover says, I don't know what Zelda Lover, what do you mean by that? So we've got, okay, so Asan is originally from India, but is watching from the UK. Asan, I'm assuming, is that a male name? Doesn't matter either way, I'm just curious. I'm not too good with different people's names sometimes. And we've got Asma Rahman, who's also watching from England. What's up, Asma? Georgia's dropping some birthday wishes for Small Man, whose birthday is today, so big up to you, Small Man. Cool. Leah says, when you're famous, please remember me. Well, I don't know if that's for me, Leah, but I'll tell you something. I was saying to everyone on the chat yesterday, if I ever get in any way big as a streamer, I would love doing a subscriber and like friends meet up and showing love to everybody that was early days, because that'd be super cool. Blaj Harger says, it's great seeing someone interacting with everyone in the chat. You know what? I really like reading the comments and seeing where everyone's from and just vibing and hanging out. So thank you for commenting and telling me where you're from and share yourself. I appreciate that. Asan says it's male. It's a male name. Thank you for telling me. Gemma Lloyd says, how are you doing? I'm doing well, thanks, Gemma. How are you doing? Thanks for joining the chat. Okay. Okay, Zelda lovers in the air in the chat. Asma Rahman says, could you pray for me? My cat died. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's never easy when you lose a pet or in your life. So yeah, so I hope you're doing okay, Asma. I hope you're feeling all right. I hope you're managing to kind of keep your chin up and, you know, you can remember the good times as not kind of feel too sad. It's never easy when you lose a loved one, whether that's a pet or whether that's a human in your life. So I hope you're doing okay. Zelda Lover is from Bulgaria. Very cool. Thank you for sharing. Ahan says, or Esan says, you have more subs than me. I have 135. Not many more. You've only got a few less than me. And listen, sorry guys. And that's the thing, one good video, you could go huge. One good video and I could go huge. That's all it takes, guys. We just got to keep showing up. Leah says, best streamer, by the way. Well, if that's for me, Leah, thank you very much. That's really nice of you to say. Dan says, why is everyone leaving? Well, hopefully they're not all leaving, Dan, but when we take this stream to the moon, they'll be back. Zelda says, bro, do you play any musical instruments? Yes, I do. I play the trumpet. Esan says, do you play the violin? No, I can't play the violin. I think if I tried to play the violin, it would be a pretty ugly sound. Hussein says, W stream. W chat, that's all I'm saying. Whenever anyone says W stream, I think W chat. Ehsan says, I play violin. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So Dan says, don't talk about wars here. We're trying to give good vibes. Well, you know what? Anybody is welcome to talk about different issues in the chat, but I like to think that this chat is a place where no matter who you are, what your background is, where you're from, we can all come together over some vibes. That's the key thing. Blanchard says, you should try an electric guitar. I think you look like a guitarist. You know, I can play chords on the guitar. I can't play the guitar like a full-on guitarist. But maybe one time on chat, I'll play some chords for you. On stream, I'll play some chords for you. George, yeah, everyone sub and like. Hell yeah, listen to Georgia. And thank you whoever just hit the like button. I love it when people hit the like button. Ehsan says it's 8:28 in the UK. Yes, it is. Leah says, next stream, can we do a question stream where we all ask questions? Definitely. Definitely. That sounds like fun. Hussein says, sub. Hell yeah, Hussein. Top moderator. I think we've not got TJ on moderation today, so it's mainly Hussein and Small Man Bros. So thank you, Hussein. You're doing a smashing job on the moderation and the vibes in the chat. Couldn't ask for better vibes. And for everybody who's watching the stream for the first time, thank you for tuning in. We've got some regulars in the chat. We've got myself, Edward. And yeah, having a good time hanging out. And it's nice to see people joining us for the stream as well. And if you are watching, I can see there's about 12 people watching right now, maybe more. Let me know where you're watching from. We've got Hussein in West Midlands. We've got people from India. We've got Blaj Haja from Indonesia. We've got Georgia from somewhere in England. We've got loads of people chilling with us tonight. We had Max before from Ireland, Dublin, Ireland. Had someone from Bulgaria watching as well. So Dan, as you've been so nice in the chat, I'm going to make you a moderator. Like I said to Hussein, with great power comes great responsibility. So please use the power wisely. So Dan, you should now be a moderator. And we've got, there you go, Dan, you're a moderator, mate. And we've got Ehsan, who's in England, in Southampton, right down south. Very cool. Akash says, you read books. Yes, I do read books. I'm reading a book at the moment by an author called Jack Kerouac. So Jack Kerouac wrote a book called On the Road, which is really famous. If you were to Google On the Road, there was a Hollywood film adaptation of it, maybe 13 years ago. I think Kirsten Dunst was it? There was a few famous people in it, so check it out. But I'm reading a book by that author. Leah says, I'm really good. You have been really good, Leah. I think we've got 3 moderators on the go at the moment. We've got Hussein, we've got Dan, and we've got Small Man Bros. So if it's all right, we'll just leave it at 3 moderators for now. But if you join another stream in the future, I'd love to get you on as a moderator. Ehsan, same thing to you, mate. We've got 3 moderators at the moment. We don't need to get too busy, but I promise you, in the future, we can get you on a moderator. Blaj Haja says, are you interested in Russian literature like White Nights by Fyodor? I must confess, Blaj Haja, that I actually don't know much about Russian literature. But thank you for sharing. You know what? I'm going to make a note of that. White Nights. By Fyodor. Thank you for the recommendation. I'm going to check that out. Akash asks, how many words in the English dictionary? Yeah, I don't know that question, Akash. It's a good question, but I couldn't tell the answer. And we've got Dan on moderation. Thank you, Dan. We've got Hussein on moderation, and Small Man Bros is around on moderation as well. So we've got 3 lovely moderators. And guys, if you're watching, I know everyone's shared where they're from, but there's a few people, about 10 people watching. I want to know where you're from. User ZJ says, hi, it's me, remember me? Yes, I do. Thanks for joining again, User ZJ. Nice to see you. Blige Harger says, if you're going to read Fyodor's books, might as well add Franz Kafka. Now, again, Blige Harger, I've heard of Kafka, but I must confess, I haven't read any Kafka. So you are giving me some good recommendations right here. James Williams says, intro. Is that where you're from, James? Or am I getting the wrong end of the stick? User ZJ says, I'm from Pakistan. Very cool. Are you Pakistan or are you somewhere else and that's where you're from? Return to Tradition says, have you heard of Joseph Conrad? No, I haven't. I must say I haven't heard of Joseph Conrad. Hi, Alex. Alex says, can I have mod? Now, Alex, we've got 3 lovely moderators at the moment, so we're going to just leave it at 3 for the time being. But if you keep tuning into the streams, I want to give different people a chance to be a moderator. So on another occasion, that's not a problem. Akash says, I read Robert Kiyosaki book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, that is a book I have heard of. And then that's been recommended to me, actually. But I'm going to make another note of it to watch it because you're maybe the second or third person who's recommended that to me. Oh, Yaya says, I have stepped in Palestine, but I was born in Pakistan. Very interesting. Aklima Begum says, poop. Well, I don't know what to say to that, Aklima. Alex says, my mum called me, I got to go. See you later, Alex. Oh, sorry, I missed your question, Return to Tradition. Sorry, guys. Return to Tradition says, have you heard of Conrad? Yeah, we've heard of Joseph. And then, fascinating author. And what else did Return to Tradition say? About Daniel Defoe's book, Robinson Crusoe. Yes, I have heard of that book. And in fact, I have not read the book, but I've seen the film adaptation. Robinson Crusoe is a classic tale, right? Blige Harger says, when do you usually go live? I'll tune in if possible. Well, I think I'm going to keep it to 8 p.m. UK time. So take 5 minutes off whatever your time is now, Blige Harger. And I think we'll do 8 p.m. We'll try to do 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. I would say 7, but I like to exercise when I come in after work and then get some food. So for the time being, 8 p.m. UK, that's what we're going to keep streaming at. I think we've done it maybe the last 5-6 days in a row. And shout out to everybody that's joined the chat again. Every time I stream, it gets a little bit bigger. We get a few more likes on the chat. The vibes get a little bit stronger. Regulars keep showing up and bringing the energy. So big up to everybody that's watching and keeps watching. Return to Tradition says, the Marlowe's play called Tamerlane. Return to Tradition, what country are you dialing in from? Because you're obviously a very well-read person and you're listing a number of different authors from different places. So I'm curious, which part of the world are you from? And thank you for sharing these recommendations as well. I appreciate it. Hussein says, can you say my sister's name, please? It's her birthday. Maymuna. Well, a very happy birthday to Maymuna. She's got a very nice brother who's doing a great job of moderation. And Maymuna, if you ever see this, I have a lovely birthday. And I hope you get to see your big brother or little brother, Hussein. Return to Tradition says, I'm from Great Britain. Very good, Return to Tradition. Me too. I'm from England in particular. Return to Tradition says, Birmingham specifically, the worst city in the country. Well, don't say that to Hussein, because Hussein, I believe, is also in Birmingham. We've had a few Brummies and a few people from the Midlands in this chat, actually. Actually, more than anywhere, we've had Jacob, who's from Walsall. We've had Hussein, who's from Birmingham area. We've got yourself living in Birmingham. We've had like a few people from the Midlands. So yeah, quite a few people in the Midlands area. I think Dan's from the Midlands area as well. Yeah, he is. He's in Birmingham. Bladge Hadger says, what do you usually spend your free time on besides streaming? Good question. I really like exercising. So I've got a bit of like a workout station at home. So I do like things like pull-ups and dip and stuff like that. And what else do I like doing? I like getting outside into the countryside, getting some fresh air. I like meeting up with my friends. I like doing creative things like making a bit of art or going to see art galleries and stuff like that. I love music as well. So yeah, and food. Food is a big passion of mine. My actual main channel is about food and sharing that with you guys. So I sometimes eat on stream. So if I get a little bit bigger, or even if not, even if I don't get a bit bigger, I'm going to start going to cities on a weekend. I've got friends in Manchester. I used to live in Manchester, so one weekend I might do a stream from Manchester. What do you reckon, guys? Return Tradition says, what about you? So I am in the north of England. My nearest big city at the moment is probably Preston, but my nearest big city is Manchester. Ash says, okay, bye. I will be sleeping because this time is sleep time in India. Okay, bye, bro. I love you. Big love, Akash. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in from India. It was nice to connect with you, and I hope to see you on another stream. Turn to Tradition says, are you interested in non-fiction books? Yeah, definitely. What type of books were you thinking? Hey, TJ's in that. TJ, another one of our lovely moderators, says, I'm back. What's up, TJ? Return to Tradition says, do you support a football team? Then perhaps. I actually support Everton because that's who my dad supports. My dad's family side of the family supports, and yeah, I support Everton. So it's a painful process. Everton, they're not one of the top teams, but they got some good fans, and yeah, that's where my heart's at. Do you support anyone Return to Tradition? Are you a football fan? Charger says, speaking of instruments, are you interested in orchestras? Absolutely. It's been a long time since I have been to see an orchestra perform specifically, but definitely I love classical music. I love musical ensembles. So yeah, orchestras, live music. It's a big thumbs up from me. Okay, his battery's dying, but we'll see you when you're back, TJ. Return to Tradition says history and political books. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, it's like which part of history though, because there's so many things to be interested in. Sometimes that's the problem, right? It's like there's so many things to be interested in, so many things to get involved in, so many things to explore. It's like, which way do you turn? Return to Tradition is an Aston Villa supporter. And Dan says, don't blame me, I support Man United. I'm not a glory hunter. Oh, Dan. You know what's funny? When I was like a little kid, United, they were like the top team. And if you were a glory supporter, it would be Man United. But if you're not a glory supporter, then respect, Dan. Return to Tradition says, I love English Baroque music. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So you're an Aston Villa loving, Aston Villa supporter, Baroque loving person in the Midlands. Cool. Dane also supports Aston Villa. So that's two thumbs up for Aston Villa. And Jacob, Walsall FC, of course. I think your profile picture is Walsall, right, Jacob? Blad Charger says, you should try recording your performance. I think it'll be... Okay. Maybe, as I say, maybe on a stream one time, I'll play a little bit of trumpet. What do you reckon? I'll have to practice first. I used to be much better. I used to be really, really decent at the trumpet, and I've got a bit rusty now. So we've got some football fans in the chat. We've got Aston Villa, Man United, Walsall FC, and there's about 11 people watching. So guys, if you're a football fan, who do you support? Oh, tricky question, dicey question. Return to Tradition says, are you into UK politics? Now, politics is an interesting question, and I don't want to get too political on the chat because, as I say, I want to keep the vibes to as many people as possible. But yeah, I do keep up with politics in the UK. It's a pretty important topic. It determines how our lives are run to a certain extent. So yeah, I do find politics interesting and pretty messy. Politics is a pretty messy business, and it's a pretty divisive kind of business. So yeah, there's a lot of. It's a complicated one. As I say, I don't want to get too deep into it because I want everybody to feel welcome and everything. But politics is a big question. We could do like a 5-hour thing probably just about UK politics. Borima says, I remember eating spaghetti. Nice to see you again, Borima. You remember I think I was eating noodles, but you remember that I was eating some nice carbs, so well remembered. Return Tradition says, are you a vegan? I am. I've been vegan 10 years. A Fire Girl says, oh my gosh, remember me? I joined you when you're eating. That's me. That's that meal, and you said I was really kind. I do remember because I remember your username. So nice to see you back in the chat, Fire Girl. Hussein says, come on guys, let's get 300 likes. That would be beyond a dream. But if we get to 20 likes on this stream, that would be super cool, because I think yesterday we got about 14 likes. So if we got to 20 likes, that'd be even cooler. Return to Tradition says, what led you to veganism? It's a good question. So I went vegetarian because I didn't like the idea of animals getting hurt if they didn't need to get hurt. And I knew you could be a vegetarian, so I thought, let's give it a go. So I was vegetarian for a few years, and then I realised that by being a vegetarian and consuming things like eggs and dairy, I was still being unkind to animals. So I gave those things up, and I've never felt better. 10 years later, it's been amazing. And even though I know probably most of you guys aren't vegan or vegetarian, but the reason making content was because I want to show people that, like, being vegan, it's really easy, and you're not gonna lose out, and you're only gonna gain. You're gonna feel good, you're gonna look good, like you're gonna look potentially younger than your age, like your age is. You're gonna spend less on your bills. You're gonna be kinder to animals. You're gonna live a healthy lifestyle. Like it's just W's all around. So, but if you're not vegan, don't feel like this is an indoctrination or you're being compelled to watch, because it's not like that. Blind Charger says, I seen your picture. You had glasses on. What's your prescription? Mine is +3 and cylinder 2.75. That's a good question. So I believe I'm about -2.25 and 2.25 also, but a slightly different prescription. But basically similar. -2.25 is roughly what I'm at. Dan says, new people, I got some work to do. And Fire Girl says, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you in the chat too, Fire Girl. I love it when I see usernames that I recognise. That's so fun to me. Jacob says, I believe that you would look very good bald. Well, thank you, Jacob. It's reassuring because my hairline is slowly receding. So at some point I'll probably go bald. So thank you for the encouragement. And you know what? For anybody watching the chat who is struggling with baldness, don't worry about it. There's worse things in life you could be than bald. And you know what I mean? Even if you're a guy and you're worried about will women find you attractive, I've spoken to a lot of them, and you know what I mean? If you're a good guy, if you've got stuff going for you, if you're kind, if you're funny, if you're intelligent, these are all things that we're attracted to than just having hair. So don't even worry about it. Barima says, do you have a wife? No, I have no wife, girlfriend. So yeah, that's that question. Return to Tradition says, how do you feel about the agricultural industry killing pests like mice and slugs in fields when you're a vegan? That's a good question. The honest is that being vegan is not about being absolutely perfect and saying, I'm the good guy, you guys are the bad guys. It's not about that. It's just doing what you can to reduce harm and be a little bit kinder. So hopefully we can reduce the amount of kind of animals that get kind of taken out of the game, shall we say, through the agricultural industry. But just be kind where you can and try and make choices that, you know, are a bit kinder to the world and to the animals. Fire Girl says, I'm glad to see you. And Dan says, W Hussein, W Return to W Barima, W Fire Girl, W Blarge Hajar, W Jacob, overall W, everyone W, and W Edward. Big love to that. Big respect, Dan. You're doing excellent work on moderation. Hussein says, how old are you? If you're watching, guys, drop. You can guess how old you think I am. Put it in the comment. Put it in the chat. Barima says, and I remember your name. Your name is Edward. Yes, it is. Oh, I'm lagging. Sorry, guys. Blige Hadders, hey, hair doesn't make up everything just like looks does. It's the personality that matters. Absolutely. Completely agree with that. Jacob says, not a day over 17. Jacob, you're a sweet talker. A very sweet talker. Smooth talker, should I say. Hussein says 23. That's a good guess as well. Hussein, very kind. I'm a bit older than 23. You know, it's funny though, Jacob. You said not a day over 17, but don't get Hadid anymore. Dan says 53. No, definitely not 53, Dan. Thank you for guessing. Hopefully I don't look 53. Chat, do I look 53? Let me know. Hussein says maybe 25. Blige Hadjas, I would guess 24 personally. Whew, you guys are making me feel good. Dan, I'm doubting myself. I hope I don't look 53. Chat, do I look 53? Let me know. Oh, okay. Dan says no, I slipped. I was going to say 23. Okay. Take that. I'll take that, chat. Hussein says you look too young for your age. Well, you know what? If I was 53, I would be the best-looking 53-year-old out there. Okay. Jacob says, what was your first job and how old were you? That's a good question. My first job was when I was 16. I was a pot washer. So I'd wash dishes in a restaurant kitchen. And it didn't go that well because after a couple of months, they told me I wasn't needed anymore. So I obviously wasn't that good. But then after that, I got a job. If you're in the UK, do you know the Works? I used to work in the Works. That was my like first job that I did for a long period of time. Well, for a couple of years, like a part-time job. Blige Charger says, some people can be 53 and look 30. That is true. There's a guy called, if you've seen him, called Brian Johnson, who's big on YouTube. And his main thing is like trying to rejuvenate himself. So he calls himself, I think he is a longevity athlete or a rejuvenation athlete. And he's like 46 or something. And he won't look as young as possible. Hussein says you're good at everything. Definitely not good at everything, Hussein. But hanging out and vibing with you guys is something that I enjoy. Whether I'm good at it or not, I don't know, but I enjoy it. Right, chat, hang out there for 1 second. I'm going to be right back. Bear with me. And Hussein, Dan, hold it down on the moderation. I'll be right back, chat. Chat, I'm back. Back in the game, back in the room. Who's still watching? Who's watching right now? The OGs are watching. What's up, guys? Only 3 people. Well, 3 legends, that's who we've got. Do not worry, we've got Dan on moderation. Hussein on moderation. Only 3. Don't worry, Hussein. Well, it's telling me we've got 0 people watching right now, so that's not too good. But they'll be back, so worry not. Hussein says, I'm never leaving. That's because you're a real one, Hussein. But everybody that left has missed out on chocolate brownies, so L them. Large Chad says you should drink up more rather than take more sips. It's a good tip. I do like to drink a lot. I've had quite a lot to drink, so if I have too much to drink, then I'll probably need to go to the toilet quite a few times. But you are right, Blar Charger. Stay hydrated. Dan says Blar Charger is a real one. Agreed. And you know what, Hussein? A minute ago, everyone had left the chat, and now they're coming back. To everybody that's just joined, we're vibing and we're eating chocolate brownies, homemade chocolate brownies. We've got Hussein on moderation, we've got Dan on moderation, and Small Man Bros is around somewhere too. Let me see. You guys want a bite? Hussein says W. 8 people watching right now. W to each of you. Great question from Blar Charger, who asks, what are your thoughts on banana bread? I love banana bread. Really love banana bread. My mum makes a really good banana bread. And you know what, Blar Charger? Sometime on stream, I'll get to make some banana bread and I'll show you it on stream. Hussein says we need more people. Yeah, we do. We need all the people. But maybe, guys, when we start doing Roblox streams, maybe we could get some people, invite people from like the hangout rooms and stuff. But worry not, the people will come. And the thing is, right, you guys are the OGs. We've got Hussein, we've got Dan, we've got a few people just hanging and vibing. And we keep doing these streams. There'll be more people that could turn up each day, hang out and vibe. And soon we'll have like 10 people that are just on the chat all the time. And then maybe one day we'll have 20 people that are on the chat all the time. So yeah, we're going to build together. Hussein says, yo, I'm going to get all my family to watch. That would be really cool. That'd be really cool. Blar Charger says, some men say banana bread is the male equivalent of flowers for a girl. That's a really interesting point, you know. I've never thought of it that way, but if a woman was to give me banana bread, especially homemade banana bread, I'd be like, oh, this girl. So yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe it is the male equivalent of banana bread. I mean, so maybe banana bread is the male equivalent of flowers. That's funny though. I love that. Hussein, could we get a subscriber count? How many subscribers are we on? Yesterday we went up to 152 and then we dropped down to about 148 or something. So yeah, without me going off stream, what's the current sub count? $340? No. Must be 147, right? Nah. If it's 147, we've gone down 1 subscriber on this chat. So hopefully it's not 147. Blar Charger says, yes, exactly what I was going for. Handmade bread. That would be a thing of beauty. Is baked goods a thing in Indonesia, Blood Charger? I went to South Korea recently, and there were quite a lot of like French style bakeries and things like that. So I'm curious if in different Asia there's also that like European influence in terms of like bakeries and things like that. Hussein says no, my whole interclass is gonna. That'd be lit. That'd be lit if we got whole Hussein's class subbing. Blood Charger says on mine it says 154 subs actually. Nice, that's cool, that's awesome. That means we've gone up 6 subs in this stream. Let's go, says Hussein. Hell yeah. And like I keep saying, guys, if I ever get to the point where being a little bit of a bigger streamer and maybe the point of doing like meetups, that everybody that's shown love in the early days, I'm always going to remember that. Like I say to my friends and family, not just about YouTube, but just in general, I always remember life how people treated me, whether they treated me well or whether they didn't treat me so well. I always remember. And people that had my back, I always remember that. Hussein says we need more subs. That would be nice. But you know what? Every time we jump on a stream and do a stream together, we get like 4, 6, 7 subs. So if we do that every day, and soon we're going to have a few hundred subs, and then one day we'll have 1,000 subs, and then who knows? Hussein says you're going to go big someday, Edward. Thank you, Hussein. I genuinely really appreciate you saying that. That means a lot. To encourage me like that, it means a lot. So big love to you, man. Blood Charger says we actually have a thing here called Roti Boy and also Salt Boy. You should definitely try Salt Boy if you visit around the Southeast Asia. Cool. Is Roti Boy like rotis? Because I've had rotis and they're good. And that's good shit. Dan says, I got a question. How does Blood Charger know so much? Blood Charger seems like a pretty knowledgeable person. And Hussein dropping more good advice, saying, never give up, keep trying. Definitely. Definitely, Hussein. I appreciate that. That's the thing, right? You feel like you're not making it, you're not succeeding. Like everybody in life, whether they're a YouTuber, a musician, I don't know, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever they might be, whoever it is, they've all had to just keep going, keep working, keep moving forward. So yeah, great advice, Hussein. And thank you to everyone in the chat. There's only like a few people in the chat right here, right now. But to all of you, Blood Charger, Dan, Hussein, whoever is watching behind the scenes as well, appreciate you guys because you make this fun. Blood Charger says, well, it's sort of like puffy butter with a crunchy layer on top. Ooh. Puffy bread with a crunchy layer. Now you're talking. Chat, if I... Chat, can you still... Oh, we're back. We're back. Thought I lost you guys then. Dan says, no, I'm about to lose battery and lost my charger. Oh, no. Well, Dan, if you drop off the chat, thank you for being a great moderator. Thank you for showing up. It's been nice. Found the charger. Panic over. Dan found the charger. Hussein says, without us, you would have no subs and no views. That's very true, Hussein. Like I was saying yesterday, without people to watch, there's no streamers. Mr. Beast, if nobody's watching his videos, who's Mr. Beast? So yeah, never forget the people that watch your videos. Whoa, wrong way around, guys. Just showed you my slightly messy kitchen there. Blood Charger says you should try streaming Minecraft on Twitch. I think it'll increase your viewer count marginally. That's a good shout, to be fair. I've had a few people say that I should stream games. If you're watching, guys, if I was going to stream one game, which should it be? In fact, while you answer that as well, I need to send a quick message, so I'm hopefully not going to drop off, but if I do, I'm still streaming. I'm coming right back. So chat, tell me. Dan says Roblox. Hussein, I want to know if I should only stream one game. What should it be? Bly Charger, let me know your answer as well. I'm coming right back. I've got a message a lady friend, but I'm still streaming. Chat, I'm back. So Dan says Roblox. Hussein says Roblox. Okay. So it might have to be a Roblox situation, guys, because I've had a lot of requests in the last few days for Roblox. And I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, and I said to her, I was like, people in chat were saying I should play Roblox. I never played Roblox. Would it be hard to play? And she's like, no, it's not that type of game. You just hang out, vibe. And maybe I should do some of the food games as well. Was it Hussein? Was it you that was saying yesterday about blocks fruits? Bly Charger says, if you're into passive games, I'd definitely say Minecraft. There's so much to do there, and you can make a series too, like PewDiePie. Is it hard to learn, Bly Charger? I've played Minecraft once when I was in Thailand, and I was in like a coffee shop there, and they had it on the screen, so I had a little play. But my mum never let me have a console growing up, so I'm a pretty inexperienced gamer. Who says there's no sound? Can you still hear me? Let me know, chat. Let me know if you can still hear me, chat. Hopefully. And Hussein, in answer to your question about a house tour, one day I need to make my house look a bit nice. But yeah, we can do a house tour one day. When I've got my house looking a bit nicer, then yeah, we can do that. Maybe like, what do you reckon? At 200 subs, we do a Roblox stream, and maybe like 500 subs, we do a house tour. What do you reckon, guys? That could be fun. And then for 1,000 subs, if we get there, I will come to a city that the chat recommends to me. What about that? So 200 subs Roblox, 500 subs house tour, 1,000 subs, a city based on what the chat recommends to me, and I'm going to travel to that city, travel around it and stream. Bly Charger says, it should be relatively easy in learning with the real world. Progressing further will teach you everything. Cool. That's good to know. So Minecraft and Roblox. Nice. Thank you for the recommendation. And Hussein says, yes, Birmingham. Bly Charger says, you should do a blog in the city. I would love to do that. Maybe I should do like a food tour of Birmingham, because Birmingham's got some good food, right, Hussein? There's a lot of good spots for food in Birmingham. I was kind of thinking, because I've made like videos before where just like I shoot some footage and then I edit it and then I upload it to YouTube. But I was thinking it might be fun to stream. I could do like a day-long food stream, like breakfast, and then travel to another part of the city, get some food, another part of the city, get some more food. Hussein says, come to Finch Road. Yeah, I remember you saying that Finch Road was the spot to be, Hussein. Ooh, they have a Laban house. So good. I'm going to have to check that out. I have to look that up. But yeah, Birmingham gets a bit of a bad rep from people. But one thing you can say about Birmingham, there's a lot of good food there. Kebab house. Cross my fingers they do some falafel, Hussein. I'm sure they will. A lot of kebab houses do falafel. Nice. Sounds good. So once again, big up to the moderators we've got in this evening. Hussein, we've got Smallman Bro was here. Don't know if he's here now, but he was on moderation. We had Dan on moderation as well, so thank you to Dan. Don't know whether his phone's died or not, but either way, big up to Dan, who's been doing a good job tonight, as has Hussein, taking the moderation very seriously. So thank you guys, appreciate that. And thank you, Bly Charger, as well, because you've brought a lot to this conversation, and it's been really interesting to chat to you. Dan is back in the house, back in the chat. Love that. Bly Charger says, do you perhaps have an interest in photography of any kind? Yes, I do. I very much do like photography and art and design. I guess if I was to have to pick a particular type of photography, it would be like photography. I find that really interesting, kind of just those snapshots in time. But then I also like, landscape photography, nature photography. So yeah. Just says, personally, I love landscape or nature. Nice. And I can imagine, I don't know what part of India you're in, but I can imagine in Indonesia, particularly maybe like kind of the rainforest, the jungle, perhaps what you'd call it. There's some really nice vegetation, some really great colours. Ooh, Black Charger says Mount Bromo is really beautiful. That's cool. Oh, Dan says, I'll be right back. I'm recommending your account. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that, mate. What friendly people we've had in the last few days. We've had Hussein shown this this channel to his family. We've got Dan recommended account. We've got Blaj Haja bringing some interesting intellectual questions into the chat. I'm actually going to write down Mount Bromo, so thank that one. Awesome. So chat, if you're watching right now, pick a number between 65 and 75. That's what I need from the chat. If you're watching, guys, pick a number between 65 and 75. $63. 65 and 75, Hussein. Blaj Haja 73, right? Blaj Haja, you've called it. Today we're going to stream until 73 minutes. I'd love to stream for longer, but I've actually got a work trip in the morning, so I've got to get an early train. Hussein says 67. Ah, you got me, Hussein. You got me. You got me, bro. All right, Blaj Haja said 73. So today we're going to stream until 73 minutes. As I say, I wish I had longer, but I need to get some sleep at some point. Yeah, you got me, Hussein. Got me, mate. Oh, boy. I keep falling for it. Well, this has been fun, chat. Honestly, thank you for everyone who's joined. Hussein, keeps bringing the energy. Blood Charger's been bringing some amazing, interesting points into the conversation. Ra3059 says this. I'm not sure what that means, but hello to you, Ra. And Blood Charger says you should prioritize yourself first. No, you are right. You are right. It's true. Yeah, I kind of think in being a full-time streamer, in some ways it's pressure because you have to be like streaming, you have to be showing your audience things. But in some ways it's good. It's your job. Like that's how you spend your time. Like I'm streaming. I've been at work today from 20 to 9 until 5 o'clock, which isn't like that long. But when you come home, I worked out for an hour, went around to my parents, had some food, and then yeah, streaming for a bit, and then we've got to chill for a bit before bed. So yeah, sometimes there's not enough hours in the day. Hussein says, I never any other streams but you. That's awesome, Hussein. Like, you've been really kind to me, and I appreciate that, mate. I really do. And I hope that more people start to watch, because the more people that watch and the more like people we get hanging out, like every day that people join the chat, who's saying like, oh, there's Dan, and Dan will be like, oh, there's Small Man Bros, and then Small Man Bros will be like, there's Blaj Haja. So yeah, hopefully we can continue building it. And Blaj Haja says, if you're feeling drowsy, you should hit the hay. Yeah, I'm not too bad at the moment, but I think by the time we finish streaming, by the time I wind down, I think I'll be getting there. Ra3059 says, ooh, what do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking? So I work in finance, Ra. It's difficult to describe my role, but I basically help people to look at their financial situation and work out if the company I work for could help them manage money a little bit better. So I'm not a financial advisor. I'm thinking about maybe taking those exams, but I've not started them or anything, so we'll see. And if Ra, you don't mind sharing, what do you do for a living? Hussein says BRB. Oh, and Dan says, I don't know if they're joining live, but I recommend. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that, mate. I really, really do. Anyone that goes out of their way, like or share the stream or tell people, tell the family about my channel, I have so much appreciation for that. So thank you, Dan. Oh, Blanche Harger says, my brother in China does something similar with data analytics. Interesting. Ra says, I'm doing my A-levels right now. Okay, cool. Well, my advice to you would be work as hard as you can at them, because I could have worked harder at mine. It worked out for me. I did okay. But what I would say to my younger self is work as hard as you can now, because it'll be worth it. What's up? Cully Sandu says hi. Hi, Cully. What's up? Thanks for joining the stream. Hussein is back in the chat. What's up, Hussein? And Dan says, that's my recommendation. Yeah, I mean, anybody that's doing any kind of studies, whether it's A-levels, GCSEs, university, exams beyond, typical university exams, whether it's like becoming a chartered accountant or anything like that. This is what I've learned as someone who's kind of gone past university. Like, it's worth the short-term pain. No pain, no gain. Cully Sandu says, do you play Roblox? Well, Cully, it's a funny question because I've had a lot of people asking me to play Roblox. So when I hit 200 subs, we're going to do a Roblox stream to you guys to join with me and to give me some help and give me some pointers. So yeah, I don't play Roblox at the moment, but I will be playing Roblox. And Dan said hello to Cully Sandu. That's very nice of Dan. Yeah, big up once again to Dan on moderation. We've got Hussein on moderation. And we also had Small Man Bros and TJ, but I think they're not in the chat right now. But big up to those guys as well. And big up to everybody that's liked the stream as well. 17 likes, guys. Like 3 more than yesterday, which was maybe 3 or 4 more than the day before. So together, we're all going in the right direction. Ra says, do you play other sorts of video games? I must confess, Ra, at the moment I don't. I'm probably the only guy on the internet that doesn't play games. And the reason for that is not because I don't think it's cool. It's because when I was growing up, my mum never let me have a games console. Like, I had a PlayStation 1 and then like a second-hand PlayStation 2. But I never got into gaming because it was never really allowed, and I just never picked up that skill. I would like Nintendo 64 at friends' houses and stuff like that, and like Tony Hawk's, but I never got into gaming. But I do think games are cool, and we'll do a Roblox together. Wow. So Blaja says, what languages do you speak? As a student in Indonesia, I speak English, Indonesian, Mandarin, and a pinch of German. Wow, that's impressive. Very impressive. So I can speak some Spanish, a little bit of French, and English. But that's it, honestly. I'd like to improve my Spanish, but mainly it's just English. I guess being an English speaker, so many people in the world speak English, so it makes it kind of easy for you to just buy with speaking English. Like if I went to Indonesia, if you were, say, a Portuguese speaker, it would be much more difficult for you to get by than if you're an English speaker, I imagine. Ehsan says, hi again, Ehsan. Hussein says, have you ever played Call of Duty? I don't think, Hussein. I've maybe had a go on it, but I've never had a session where I've like sat down by myself or with some mates and like spent an afternoon playing. I've never played Call of Duty like that. But I'm gonna have to learn. I'm gonna have to learn for you guys, and will you help me? Cully says, can I be a moderator? So Cully, we've got about 3 moderators on the chat at the moment, so we're gonna just keep it to 3. But like I keep saying to people, if people keep showing up to the stream, then in due course, I would love to have different people moderate and give a chance to do that. So not today, Cully, but that's not never. Ra says, if not video games, what other hobbies do you have? So I really like exercising, working, hanging out with friends, exploring new places. Those are some of my main hobbies. Art, creative things, music, listening to music. Yeah, definitely Definitely like food as well. That's a big passion of mine. Sugar Rush is back in the chat and says, bro, I thought I got banned from your video on live. Hopefully not, Sugar Rush, but it's nice to see you in the chat. Blar Charger says, lots of people regard French and Spanish as the most romantic languages. I wonder if that had something to do with that. That's an interesting point, and I must say I would agree that French and Spanish are very romantic sounding languages. I think French is a great, Spanish is a great language as well. And user Jay is back in the chat and says hi. So guys, listen, we're nearly at 73 minutes. That was the time that Blar Charger chose. I said choose a number between 65 and 75, and 73 was the number that was in. So we're going to wind this down soon. Big up to everyone that's joining the chat. And if you're watching the chat, don't forget to hit like. And if you haven't subbed, hit sub already, guys. Come on. User said Jay says, what is your religion? I am not religious. I'm sorry for Sugar Rush says, I'm sorry for saying this. Swear at you on the last week I could be on. Not sure what that means, Sugar Rush. Hussein says sub and like. Yeah, that's awesome. If guys haven't liked already, I'm trying to get to 18 likes. Well, I'm trying to get to 20 likes, but I'll settle for 18. So if you've not hit like, be the 18th person to like. Dan says, sub to Edward or enter his basement. That's a joke. Yeah, don't worry guys, there's no basements involved. But if you do want to subscribe, then that's awesome. And if you want to hit the like button as well, that's super cool as well. All right, guys, we've gone a minute over the selected time of 74 minutes. So any final, we've just hit 18 likes as well. So whoever the legend was that just hit 18, the like button the 18th time, you're a real one. And I appreciate that. That's super cool. Ra says, how many times do you stream and when? So at the moment I'm streaming every day, daily. 8 p.m. UK time is when I'm going for. It might change to 7 p.m. But right now, 8 p.m. UK time. And I'm having fun with it, and I appreciate you all. And User said that was me, the 18th person. User, you are a real one. And just for that, we're going to extend by 2 minutes. We're going to get to 77 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Just because all the guys are legends in here. I was going to do 73 minutes, but you've pumped me up. The energy's too high, so we're going to get to 77 minutes. Legends. You guys are getting me pumped. 19 likes. Come on, guys. We're going crazy up in here right now. This is awesome. And whoever's watching, you guys are bringing the energy. Big up, I'm saying this repeatedly, but big up to Hussein on moderation. Big up to Dan on moderation. Big up to everybody else in the chat. You've been bringing some amazing vibes tonight. I've had a really good time on this stream. Hussein says you were the best. You guys are the best. And we just hit 20 likes. We did that together. You guys are bringing the energy. I'm having fun with you. This has been a lot of good energy in this chat. We've had people from all over the world join the stream. We've had people from Indonesia, India, Pakistan, the West Midlands, Bulgaria, all over the world, guys, just hanging out and vibing with us. Ra says, 2 a.m. where I am, I've got to go sleep, and bye, it was so nice tuning in. Ra, it's been a pleasure having you in the chat. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for tuning in. I enjoyed seeing you. Dan says, wait, let me do one more thing. Go on then, Dan, I'm ready for it. Blar Charger says, you reached 20 likes. Buddy, we did it, Blar Charger. That's thanks to you guys sticking around, vibing with me, having fun. I think yesterday we got to like 14 likes and I was pumped about it. So one day, guys, we're going to do a stream together and we're going to get 100 likes and I'm going to go crazy. User ZJ says, bringing vibes. Thank you, User ZJ. Appreciate that. 21 likes. Come on, guys. What a night. It's been awesome. Precision says, what do you think about the Rothschilds? That's a big question. That's a question for another stream. That's a whole other stream. But thank you for the question. Dan says, W Ra, W User ZJ, W Blar Charger, W Precision Hussein, W everyone, W Edward. Hell yeah. W. Cully Sandu as well, of course, last but not least. Guys, I think this has been the best stream I've done yet. I've really enjoyed this. Sugar Rush says, bro, send you one more like and now you have 21 likes. Big love, Sugar Rush. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Like I said before to you guys, without people bringing the energy in the chat, without people vibing with me, the chat is nothing. So you guys have been making it a lot of fun. So thanks to everybody. I really appreciate that. This has been a fun chat. Users Jay says, I'm having tea later. Before you go, can you give Rocky a shout out? Definitely. Users Jay, this is your shout out. This is a shout out to you. This is a shout out to Rocky. But yeah, shout out to Rocky. Don't know who Rocky is, but big up to you, Rocky. Big to ZJ. Blood Charger says, I'm hopping off after this stream ends. Well, listen, guys, we're at 78 minutes. The vibes have been immaculate. Cully Sandu saying, yay. Sandu's feeling the energy. Rocky is User ZJ's cat, so big up to User ZJ cat. Hussein says, honestly, you are the best person in the world. Hussein, I don't know about that, but you are a lovely person as well, and I'm really grateful for you being here, Hussein. You make chat fun every time. Cully, wait. What's the last comment before we go, Cully? We've got to wrap this up, so drop it in the chat. Black Charger says, my friend Edward is also such a vibe. I wonder if all Edwards are generally... Could be. I couldn't say for sure, but maybe. Thanks everyone that's bought in. Thank you, User ZJ. Dan says Edward basement is full. Worry not, there's no basement. There's no one in the basement. Cully Sandu says, wait, very last one, Cully, so put it in the chat because we've gone over and over this stream and it's been so much fun. But yeah, we've got to wrap it up. Cully says the basement is full. Well, not my basement, Cully. No extra spaces. Cully, don't be trolling me. Right, guys, 79 minutes. How about we make it to an even 80? We've got 45 seconds. Any final comments if you're watching right now? Put them in the chat. Any vibes that you want to share with everybody here. Users Jay says, bye. Hussein says we should probably get going. We've got 30 seconds left, guys. Dan says, bye, everyone. Cully Sandu's trolling. Hussein says, I'ma stay. 25 seconds, guys. Dan says, I'm in his basement. Dan is in Cully's basement right now, so please send help to Cully. Send help to Dan. Cully's taking him hostage. Hussein's staying to the very end like a real one. We've got 10 seconds left, guys. Blood Charger says, good night, Edward. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you so much, Blood Charger. It's been really fun having you here on the stream. Big up to everybody. Big up Hussein. Big Charger. Big up Dan. Big up to everybody that's joined. You're all real ones. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you on the stream tomorrow, 8 PM UK time. Big love to you all.